Well, hey folks, welcome to part 2 of the mailbag Q&A answer portion of this video. Hey folks, Aaron here, your host, and I got my brother Nate hanging out, asking me the questions that we are checking out today that you guys have sent in. You know, a couple weeks ago, we posted a video asking you to send in some of your questions that you would want to ask me. I have not seen these or heard these questions before, so my brother's just giving them to me blind and then off the cuff answers for you guys. So thank you for sending them in, and let's go ahead and jump to it, Nate.
Yeah, guys, just wanted to, again, thank you. You know, I went through all the questions, looked through them, really liked a lot of them. There were some that, you know, were with multiple people asking basically the same kind of questions. So I mostly just grabbed the first one I came across, or, you know, maybe one had just a little bit better wording or whatever that I liked. But thank you all for sending stuff in. There was a couple that I saw too, you know, things like, what's your EDC? You know, stuff like that, that I saw multiple times, but I didn't pick those and pull those out. Just because Aaron's got videos about him that I encourage you to go and check out to answer those questions for you, because he's taken the time to, you know, give really good detailed, you know, videos on that stuff. So if you're seeing that kind of question, hey man, I asked a question that like a bunch of people were asking and I didn't pull it out, it's probably because there's a video on it. Go and check it out.
Sweet.
Alrighty. So next one we got here is Border Tubers Rogers Newman.
Wow.
My question,
you got a good name.
My question is, when you were a kid, what was your first knife, and what was your first good knife?
Oh, wow. Okay, so my first knife I ever got was from my dad for Christmas. I think I was 9. My brother was 7. It was right around that age. He got us a simple Swiss Army knife. I don't remember what model it is. Yeah, cut myself day one, of course, because you got to do that with a new knife. I think my brother did too. But that was really cool, you know, so I carried that around with me a lot as a kid and used that a lot. Didn't really like EDC it. I mean, back then, I don't even know if many people really knew the term, so I wouldn't carry it like every day. But, you know, when we go hiking or camping, I would bust it out, or, you know, if I needed to cut something and didn't know where the scissors were, I'd go run and get my, you know, Swiss Army knife, but I didn't carry it like in my pocket all the time. It really wasn't until late high school that I purchased, the question is like for my first good knife.
Yeah. What was your first good?
Crud. I want to say it was probably the Kershaw Skyline was really when I started to see, okay, this is like a good knife. You know, it's USA made, it's lightweight, it's got a decent steel on it, you know, has some pocket clip options, you know, those type of things. Really was kind of the very first jump, and I think it was the Skyline. I don't remember for sure, but I think it was the Kershaw Skyline, and still have one in the collection, you know, upgraded to the Damascus steel version, but great EDC knife to carry around for sure.
Sweet. Okay, Vashon Mart. Your feeling for Chinese knives that copy U.S. designs, companies like Ganzo,
yeah,
who copy Benchmade, Spyderco, Sarumnu, who copy Chris Reeve, philosophy,
yeah,
of intellectual property theft versus product quality, you know, affordable price.
That's a good question. So, yeah, up till now, I haven't reviewed those companies literally for that reason. I mean, that's the reason why. When I look at it, I'm like, okay, that's a Benchmade, you know, Griptilian. They just ripped off and put 440C steel on and charging $20. I mean, it is blatantly obvious. Now, there are designs out there that are very similar, that probably were taken in some way, shape, or form from other companies, but it's not quite as obvious, or like companies are kind of putting their own spin on it, particularly like the Chinese companies, like Rake. What are some of the Stedman knives? I'm sure have like kind of some variations to other, you know, blades out there. Yeah, for me, it's not like there's some, you know, rule that I use, but I mean, if I look at a knife, I'm like, okay, that was, I think it's, what, a Ganaz or whatever the heck it is.
Ganzo,
yeah, Ganzo. I think they like, it looks exactly like a Spyderco paramilitary PM2, but they put like their version of an axis lock on it. So I mean, I'm like, I'm not going down that road. You know, if you want to spend $20 on that, great. I don't need to spend my time, you know, reviewing that stuff. I want to review stuff that at least have some view of being an original thought and an original, you know, design. So maybe down the line, you know, if they start to produce their own designs, I may start to look at those companies, but for now, I'm not going to waste my time in that direction.
Sweet. Next question comes from, this is a pretty long username. Why the F would you do that? So that you would get everyone to thumbs up it?
Hey, I know you.
It's kind of hard to miss.
You make some good comments. That's hilarious.
What was one of the most difficult situations to happen to you in life? Heartbreak, loss of a job, or anything like that, and how'd you overcome it?
I'm trying to think of like I'm blessed to say that I haven't had like a brutal life. I've had a very blessed life. I mean, we've commented on it twice. That was probably one of the hardest things in my life. Well, that's not true. Okay, so one of the hardest ones was, without going into a ton of detail, I was diagnosed with an incurable ear disease that is genetic that no one in my family has ever had. And the doctors did everything they could. They told me I'd be deaf in my left ear the rest of my life. And was on steroids, all kinds of medications, lost my job. I was just out of high school. I was driving dump trucks for the summer, and then I was going to be doing some internship stuff to one day become a pastor, do all the stuff that I do now. But that was an important job. I was making really good money to be a dump truck driver. Lost the ability because my equilibrium with that disease that they diagnosed me with, Meniere's disease. Lost that job because I couldn't drive. My equilibrium would go out multiple times a day, and I would literally walk in a circle. If I tried to walk in a straight line, I could not do it for about 20 minutes, and then it would subside. But I always had like fullness in the ear, deafness in my left ear. And after the doctors were like, yeah, we really can't do anything else for you. You're going to be deaf in that ear. We can do some like surgeries so that you can at least have your equilibrium back, but you'll be deaf. And that whole time, believing in my Lord and Savior, who says that he, took those 39 stripes on his back, Jesus Christ, so that I could be healed. So I said, all right, God, I believe that. And I believe I'm supposed to live a life of health, and I'm supposed to live a life, because I knew at that point that I wanted to, be somebody who shared the word of God with somebody and the love of God. And I'm like, how can I do that if I, don't see this in my life? And so after a period of time, I woke up one morning and my ear was completely clear, went back to the doctors. They're like, there's nothing wrong with your ear. Have a great life. They couldn't explain it, and I have perfect hearing in my left ear. So that was a really that season though of being deaf and losing the job and like all that stuff was really, really hard. And the only thing that really kept me going was my family, my friends, around me, and then my relationship with Jesus Christ, and knowing that He's not. I have to believe that He's not going to let me down in this situation, and He didn't. So those things are what got me through that season of my life, which was really hard when when the doctors are telling you you're never going to hear again for the rest of your life in your left ear. That's pretty brutal. And I know people out there that might be watching. Doctors have given you, a horrible, diagnosis, and I have seen God move. And if you ask God, I believe that He wants to heal. So, and I've seen it in my own life. So that would be one really hard moment in my life for sure. And thankfully, God showed up and made it an amazing moment.
Sweet. So, a PAG.
Oh, that's the name. That's the username. Yeah. I was like, what?
A PAG.
Am I supposed to know that acronym?
No. A PAG asks, what does your wife or family think about all the gear you have?
My wife hates the fact that it clutters the house. Because if you walk into my house at any point in time, unless we're like cleaning it for, like relatives or something, there's going to be like 3 backpacks strewn around somewhere. There's blades everywhere.
Nice just party zone.
Yeah, all that. So she's not a huge fan of that aspect. She definitely digs the fact that our family is always prepared. That we have that mindset. In having, go bags in the vehicles, medical kits that are, tuned up well, and we know how to use them in case of an emergency situation. Being competent with firearms, both her and I, those type of things. So, I try to cycle it out. I'm not attached to anything. So I try to, once things have had a shelf life, either resell them on eBay or, give them away to friends and family and that type of thing. So at least it's not like I have a, who's who in the zoo of a shed full of junk of the gear that we've tested over the last almost 6 years coming up, which is crazy.
And the rest of his family love it. Because sometimes we get free stuff and other times we don't need to take anything because he's already got it.
Oh, my butt is getting like numb.
Ooh. Yeah, my foot's falling asleep. Okay.
This is how much we love you guys, numb butt, to answer these questions.
Always a good thing when your butt goes numb. All right. AKM 295. What would be the one piece of advice you would pass along to a new father?
this is a kind of a twofold. Well, yes, I mean, it's one thing, be patient. To be patient, not only with your spouse, but also with your child. And I'm learning this now with GT Jr., who is about 2 now. And when I'm trying to teach him something, and I feel like I've invested a good amount of time and he's not getting it, there was this like aha moment a couple months ago where I was about to give up teaching him something. It was like the draw squirt guns in the backyard, just little sticks, you suck up the water and you squirt it. And I was showing him for about 10 minutes how to do it. And I know he had the strength and like dexterity, he could do it, but he just wasn't understanding. He was like kind of pumping it in the water. He wasn't sucking it up. And so I wanted to quit. I was like, okay, I've spent like 10 minutes with you. You're not getting it. Maybe in a couple months you'll figure it out. And I was about to walk away and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it like a couple more times. And so I spent like maybe 2 or 3 more times showing him, see, this is how you draw it out. This is what it does. Now you push. And by the last time, he totally got it. And now he totally knows how to run the squirt gun and, loves it, has a great time with it. So give it a little bit more than you probably want to, and you'll probably see a lot better results, not only just giving patience to your family, but also to your child.
All right. Darth Kroll wants to know, he said in a video I watched recently that you aren't really a knife collector.
Yeah.
How do you go about selling or trading your knives when you're finished reviewing them and you don't feel the need to keep them around after making a video?
Yeah, so I do have a ton that I have to keep in the collection, mainly for either concept videos I do down the line or like side by side. There's a knife that I've used. It's a great knife, but I'm like, yeah, I have like 50 knives. I don't need any more. I would want to sell it, but I don't, because I'm like, man, I'm going to have to, like 3 months from now, this other knife's coming out and I want to buy that, and we're going to have to do a head-to-head, because we do a lot of side-by-side comparison, head-to-head stuff here at the channel that I think is a big important part that gives you value. So maybe if you're looking at another knife and another knife comes in, so that I would probably sell like, I don't know, 20, 30 knives right now if I wasn't doing that. But because we do those comparisons, I have to keep them in the collection and have a couple tubs full of them. If there are ones that I don't really see the need to, or I don't think that they're really going to be in any more videos, then I'll usually either give them away as gifts if somebody, is either really connected with it. They're like, whoa, that's a really sweet blade. Maybe they don't have any. Maybe they have a very small collection. I'll usually bless somebody that I know. Or if not, then I will put them up on eBay and sell them that way. Facebook is a great way to see what usually if I post it on eBay, I'll put a link on my Facebook page so you can go over and check it out. So about every month I'm selling a couple pieces of gear. If you want to pick up a discounted piece of gear that we've previously reviewed, that's an easy way to do it. That way is to follow us on Facebook.
And then you can show everybody a knife that GT had his hands on.
Yep, totally.
All right, Kevin Roulet. You said in an earlier
Michael
video...
Goulet. Or Robert Goulet.
You said in an earlier video that you were going to try and include more gun reviews in the near future. Where are they?
Yeah, good question. And YouTube sucks. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. It may move to a different platform. With their current rules that they've had, I'm trying to still figure it out and trying to, I want to do them. I don't know how to do them yet, I guess. I have the capability. I have several that I want to do. And we're trying to figure out ways to do that in probably the fall, I hope. Yes.
Keep the channel alive.
Yeah, and keep the channel alive. Because, I could throw up like 10 of them and I have no idea because of the rules and regulations that YouTube does. If I wake up one day and Getting's Tactical's gone. And I know that's not what you guys want. I know that's not what I want at this moment in time. I want to be able to end the channel on my own terms in a season of my life where I feel it has run its course. I don't want it to be taken away from me because of silly rules and regulations that I don't even know or are so vague that anyone can read into them however they feel and on their whim of opinion that day. So I'm trying to balance my belief in the Second Amendment and the ownership of firearms and doing all of that, and also running this channel and keeping that alive and finding other avenues possibly that we can do that. Or if we do firearms, how do we do it in a way that isn't going to cause a bunch of red flags and, get the channel banned immediately. So trying to do all of that and juggle all of that at the same time while running a full-time job and having a family and everything else I do is tricky. So I hope you guys will find it. When I know a platform, I'll let you guys know. Great question, and I do want to do them at some point in the near future.
Sweet. Hillbilly Heath asks,
Yow.
Getting married in a month. As someone who buys a lot of knives and outdoor gear, how do you justify all the purchases to Mrs. GT? Any suggestions on how I can continue to buy gear items I love without ruffling Mrs. Hillbilly's feathers?
That's it.
Diamond ring.
Buy her a diamond ring, my dad says. No, you tell her to shut up and deal with it. No, I'm just kidding. Not at all. Okay, so to be honest, so for me, because this is not only a hobby, but it's a hobby that also helps the family. You know, I mean, if I wasn't doing this channel and wasn't producing the income to not only continue to buy gear, but also to help with some bills and stuff, my wife would be like, I love you. You need to quit that thing and you need to go like deliver pizzas to help, you know, pay all the bills. So the fact that I don't have to go deliver pizzas and I can be out here on a backpacking trip with you guys and not only giving you guys content, but then making a little bit of extra scratch on the side to help pay bills and purchase gear to test, it's awesome. So there's a little bit of that where my wife wouldn't be as understanding if it wasn't for the YouTube channel. In concept, what I would say is to have a healthy balance of give and take with your spouse. Find something that she's into, you know, whatever the thing that she really likes, and with the family budget, and figure out how can I purchase something in a timely fashion that I'm interested in, knife, firearm, backpack, whatever. Okay, great. Now, honey, what would you like? And maybe some of the income, maybe if you have a little spare, you know, business you do, or, you know, a little way to make a little extra cash, or, you know, sell older gear, or whatever you got to do, then bless her and let her be able, you know, if she likes massages, cool, go get a massage, babe. It's on me, you know, and you take care of that, and you sacrifice your desire to, maybe you used to buy 2 knives a month, now you're down to 1, but you continue that process, and also just explaining it that you just, it's something that brings you joy, that's something that's, you know, fun for you, and figure out just how that works with her and your guys' budget. And communication, I think, is key in your relationship in general. If you guys communicate, good or bad, you know, of what's going on in your life, that's going to make your relationship last the test of time, in my opinion, and hopefully get you another new blade soon.
All right. Very last thing to wrap up here. I got a bunch of, like, I want you to give me your, like, one-word answer as quick as you can.
Oh, man.
Okay? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
57. Because then you bite it.
Where did you get those crazy green shades?
Knockaround.com. Really cool. G.I. Joe. Super awesome. $30, and they are really nice. So knockaround.com. Check them out. They're on Instagram as well, and they do limited runs like these G.I. Joe ones every month, which is pretty sweet.
Nice. What is the secret of life?
The outdoors.
Nice. Water bottle versus bladder.
Bottle.
Osprey versus Duder.
Duder.
Kershaw Link versus Steel Will Mobius. Or Modus.
Oh, Modus, yeah. Modus.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Actually, I redact that with Bigfoot. I could believe that there is some ape that we just have not seen. I mean, that would be really sketch, but I mean, maybe that is true. So, I mean, I'm not like, yeah, they're definitely out there, but if someone were to be like, here is Bigfoot, and there's a Bigfoot standing there, it wouldn't, like, stun me.
It wouldn't stun you?
No, I'd be like, well, that makes sense. Yeah, well.
There he is.
They were hiding out in the woods, and they were really good. They're the best hide and seekers of all time.
Even better than Luke Skywalker on that island.
Yes. Terrible movie. Anyway.
Who is the biggest influence in your love for the outdoors?
Originally, my dad, and taking us out camping, hiking, all this stuff for years. And then taking it to the next level just with like the gear aspect of it, and then that pushes me to be outdoors, because that's actually why I started the channel. Is I said I want to get into the outdoors again. What would cause me to do that? Well, if I started filming some stuff, at least that would make me want to get outdoors. So again, those 3 YouTubers that we commented on earlier, Crockett20, Nothing Fancy, and Adam from Equipped to Endure, who I haven't seen really post anything. I don't even know if he's got a channel anymore. So, but yeah, originally my dad taking us out as a family year after year and just really getting involved in the outdoors was awesome and life-changing for me, and he's still here off camera to this day. So,
still rocking it.
Let's see, how should we end this thing? Something super controversial. How about my Star Wars movie rating?
Oh, boo. Stop it.
My brother's gonna hate this, and you guys are gonna probably hate this.
He didn't go see this movie and make an opinion by himself. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. He watched reviews of the movie before he went to go see it, and so he already had an idea and a view in mind for everything controversial that could have happened. And he
No,
didn't
wrong.
Make up
The
his
more I
mind
watched,
for
I saw it
himself.
twice. I saw
2 times.
Anyway, my Star Wars rating, I'd love to hear your guys' Star Wars rating. Maybe we'll talk about it in the next video. Would be Empire Strikes Back, followed by Return of the Jedi. Yep. Then I would say probably A New Hope. Then I would say Rogue One. Then I would say Solo. And then I would say Force Awakens, Episode 3, what's it called? Last Jedi, and then I don't even know those other two. 1 and 2, what are
I don't
those?
know what person would want to watch Revenge of the Sith over the last.
Because you find out that how like Darth Vader became Darth Vader. Yes, the acting is terrible, but the story is great.
The wussiest person on the planet Earth.
So, or not great, but you know what I mean. It was pretty good. Better than that dumpster fire of the last one.
Whatever, man.
The last one. Mark Hamill, I love you. I am sorry they screwed you like that. So anyway, with that, guys, thanks so much. Check us out on all the relevant social media. Thank you for your support through through Amazon, through Blade HQ. When you guys use those hyperlinks, helps us continue to make videos, guys, and it's a viewer-funded channel, and we really appreciate that. Your guys' support is epic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your questions again. Lots of fun. And yeah, depending on how many views we get and the feedback we get from these videos, we might begin to do this on a pretty consistent basis. I had a good time doing it. Did you have a fun time picking them out and stuff?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I loved reading through, a bunch of them and whatever else. Yeah, so if you didn't see your question answered, there's probably a video on it.
There you go. So check us out on all the relevant social media, and always remember, stay equipped.
Stay prepared.
We'll see you out there.